That's right, man. Charlie's definitely.
Because you always use that active when defending. I think it's like.
Am I live? Of course I'm live. People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. First things first, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's in good spirits. I hope everyone's enjoying their Friday. Please give me 1 second, literally, people, because my charger is not in. That's how you know the sort of Friday I'm having. I can't lie, it's been chock-a-block, people. Again, you're seeing probably different timings, but it is what it is, people. We're still here, we're still live and kicking. As I always say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's doing blessed. I hope everyone's had a great week. At least if you're Mikel Arteta, you've signed a new deal. We're going to get into all of that, people. Please rest assured. So, yeah, it is what it is, people. Apologies for that. But, yeah, we're back and going. And now, in terms of the grind of content, people, the grind don't stop, so neither do I, people. There's hella things to be doing today. Obviously, I'm live at 2:30 as well with Statman Baines on Twitch. That's why we're going to have to slightly cut this one short. We will be offering even more opinions on... on Mikel Arteta, etc. I am going to ask him for we will probably on that live stream focus on Mikel Arteta, but we'll also spend a lot of time talking about the Conference League final, the Champions League final, the Europa League final. Conte's been speaking, Abramovich has been speaking, hella things are going on, people. So yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well and safe. A man said, had to hit the like button on YouTube, I had to return to Twitch, gang. Come on, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube, big up yourselves. I appreciate you lot, people. I think I'm having internet problems, so you lot are gonna have to hold it, people. I can't control the net and things like that. Big up yourself, B. I hope, as I said, I hope main thing, everybody's doing well and safe. Please let me know your opinions on Mikel Arteta signing a new deal, people. Now, again, let's address the elephant in the room. I can't lie, I don't know why, but I'm just bare energized. Maybe it's because I weren't here. I've been catting to speak to you lot about football. I missed you lot, people, man. I think, you know, if I just offer my opinions quickly before we look at the press conference, what Edu has said and things like that, I feel the first thing, I know on the best of days, I'm always on this the glass is half open, half full stuff, or whatever it's called, half empty, half full. But I do think genuinely, 2025, bro, when you look at Mikel Arteta, I do think you have to approach it with a lot of balance. I do think there's a lack of middle ground when speaking about Arsenal management, Arsenal as a whole. I do think what you can't do is act like he hasn't achieved anything. I'm not even talking winning the FA Cup. We can't act like he hasn't built some good, some foundations, weeded out players. We can't. There's some good things happening at Arsenal. Whether that transpires into doing other things and whatnot is another thing. But I also feel there's that. I feel there's people that try and belittle that. But then on the other hand, I do feel there's people that kind of praise nothing. Like, kind of nothing's been achieved. There's a lot of talk. I mean, if you're involved in the club, things are allegedly happening, but it feels like a lot of contracts and a lot of things are being rewarded for achieving nothing because, granted, top 6 was the goal. He's got top 6, but then again, it's really because you finished 8th. It was your first full season. We do know it's a delicate situation, so it is what it is, man. I think if I look at it personally, I think also one uncomfortable truth, as I tweeted, Arsenal fans need to say, as I tweeted here, like it or not, the manager was never going to live or die by Champions League qualification. Rightly or wrongly, that is not the be-all and end-all this season. Now we can discuss if that should be. And that's what I feel. I feel, obviously, Arsenal should always be challenging for top 4 and beyond. An unpopular opinion, I think, in the last few years, just like this year, it hasn't been unreachable. But like it or not, you can have your opinion. He was never going to live or die. The contract stuff was going to happen anyways. He was never going to live or die by if he gets Champions League, even since it's become available. That was not the goal. And he's on task with what we're trying to do in terms of the project, etc. We are going to finish within the top 6, I believe. Mathematically, we've done that. We're back in Europa or Europe. Let's just call it that, so he's done that. that's where the project's to be. I mean, we heard talks around a new deal when Arsenal were doing poor. Again, you probably got to look at Arsenal within a 3-year period. Next season, the glove should be off. Don't get it twisted. The glove should have been off this year. You know, there's a lot of potential. So now it's time to show it. And if I look at it cynically, as much as I admire what Arteta is doing, I feel there's a lot of praise for what a manager should be doing anyways. And I just feel, you know, you can't have it both ways. You can't talk up someone and then make excuses, you know. Again, I know Arteta's not Pep, but Pep lives or dies by high standards. You know, it's all his fault for going out the champ. Same way if he wins, he'll get the treatment and things. And I think there's got to be that sort of middle ground. I understand comments around waiting to the end of the season to release it, but again, we heard he wasn't going to have a new deal, so that doesn't really affect things. And maybe this was the better time where things are still optimistic for Arsenal and whatnot, people. And I mean, anyone that thinks Arsenal and Mikel Arteta woke up today and just decided to sign a new deal, they're bugging out in it. Hit the like button if you haven't already, people. So it was always that is something we need to remember. When I sat down to myself on Google with my Google Doc sheet and thought about the reasons for, as in and for and against getting new deals, I personally would have been on wait or see. I feel if he got top 4 this season, which I hope he does, new deal. I think if he got top 6, I feel let's see what's going on next season. Talk about a new deal, but let's see what's going on really. Reasons for I put down, I think, you know, he's confirmed the top 6 finish allegedly, which okay is in line with what we're trying to do, and we would have taken that collectively as a club in August. All right, cool. You know, the new contract until 2025 also shows commitment to the project. It shows that they're doubling, rightly or wrongly, they're doubling down on the manager. It shows existing players that we want to be part of this, that the manager isn't going anywhere. And it gives Arteta that bit of cushion. And it potentially tells potential players that, you know, we're here to stay in the sense of Arteta, this project, etc. I feel it was always happening. This was probably the best time to quote unquote announce it. Unless Arsenal were to win the North London derby and confirm top 4, there's probably never going to be a better time. Big up the YouTube and Twitch gang alike, locked in people. So there's probably never going to be a better time to do such. I also feel, you know, building strong foundations. I think it shows further commitment, and again, I think it further shows what we're told. And again, to fans, I'm not gonna lie, as a fan, I am seeing things to criticize and be encouraged by Mikel Arteta. But I'm not working at the club. Those that work at the club, and I don't take anyone's opinion for word. It is what it is. But when you hear the players, anyone connected with Arteta, Guillaume Balaguer the other day, it seems like he's building something in it. They speak of what he's doing internally. And as I said, you should be doing that as a manager anyways. But these are the sort of things. As I said, people, if I look at it on a harsh thing, you know, what has he achieved? Away from the, you know, the minimums, you know, getting out players you don't want, bringing in players, showing a system, these are things that were coming with the job. So there's that, and there's nothing of significance. And if I look at it on a cynical one, it does feel to a degree kind of failure or mediocrity to a slight degree is being rewarded, people. Next season, the gloves are off because it should be off this year. You need to, assuming we got Champions League, I think it's fair to expect you to make the last 16. I don't think anyone expects anything more than that. You know, if we did get into the Champions League, you need to get to the last 16. Obviously, FA Cup needs to improve. You need to be going to the latter stages. Carling Cup, go as far as you can. You need to show that you can get top 4, top 6 once again. It's without saying. If we're not in the Champions League and we're in Europa, then anything less than the final is unacceptable or deemed failure, as it was for Wenger and Emre. So yeah, next the gloves are off. Next season, you need to deliver. Really, money's been spent, backing's been done, luxuries that weren't afforded rightly or wrongly to Unai Emery and that weren't given. So you need to show you can do a thing. Really, you know, things are building, but you know, this is the most of the Emirates era when we've seen projects. This is probably the most exciting project I've been on. You know, I'm not gonna lie. When Santi Ozil and Alexis came in, I wasn't too convinced when we tried the English project with Ox, Gibbs, and them sort of players there. But definitely the most optimistic. Not necessarily optimistic about winning trophies and all of these things that I would like to. Just optimistic about bloody looking like a team. You know. I don't agree with. I do see comments. You know, as I said, I do think people act like he hasn't done anything for the club. But I do, when I see comments like he's exceeded expectations. I mean, come on now, exceeding expectations would probably be top 4 to a slight degree or beyond. This is why I think there is no ultimate balance, and it is that. But as long as the club are committed to him internally, as long as he's backed in the summer properly, you know, I'll give you last summer the talent ID was spot on. It is what it is. And what I would like to see from Mikel Arteta is a positive bit of pressure placed on him by those above him, just so when you know, because everyone makes mistakes. Saka and Ramsdale and Smith Rowe and Martinelli, they're young players. They've all had good or bad periods throughout the season, or parts of the season where other players have shone more than others. Mikel Arteta is still a young manager. Everyone makes mistakes on the best of days, but he showed the good, bad, and the ugly. Probably a bit naive against Crystal Palace away. A bit naive in how he deployed us against Brighton. You know, the naiveties we probably showed in January, rightly or wrongly, not bringing in players. This is what I mean by the gloves are off for everyone. It's you know, January next year. I'm not gonna, you know, the things we've gone with letting players go, not bringing people in, not challenging for certain things. The gloves are off. Things have to be achieved, or things have to kind of be done a lot better next season. Or again, it's curtains, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button if you can as well. So yeah, it is what it is. 1 second, people. Leave and come back. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Yeah, back again. So yeah, man, the gloves have been off, and I said that for the players and etc. As I said, I do think there's no balance. I do think some people don't like to accept Arteta is doing things, and I do think there's a lot of luxuries afforded to Mikel Arteta. One thing I don't think you can't talk up someone and then nobody can ask questions. I don't agree with everything. You know, me supporting or stand behind anyone is like it's not just condoning. I feel some people do that. I mean, if you was a shareholder of a business and you know they were making dividends, you would praise them in the same way. If they wasn't, you'd ask questions. I like what Arteta is doing. I like what he's doing with the young players. I give him credit for the talent ID. I like that I actually, unpopular opinion, I do think he's, as much as you can, keeping a happy camp. You're not going to keep every